created to serve my Creator. Which this is in Tov Lamed Hey. About 5 years later, it came, the Rebbe was notified that they found a version, I don't know if it was in the Vatican or wherever it was found, that the version in Gemara, this is tractate of Kiddushin, the end of Kiddushin as it's noted in footnote 21. But then there is another quote. I think it's the same tractate. And over there it says the Lashon, maybe it's a different place. Ani le'nivresi elo l'shamesh askeni. I was created only to l'shamesh askeni. And there's a difference in the two meanings. If we should say nivresi l'shamesh askeni means I was created to serve the Creator, but there could also be other features. And I was created for that also. But when we say ani le'nivresi elo l'shamesh askeni, means exclusively only to serve the Creator. And as the Rebbe learns Pshat in such an inyan, in Anil in Evresi or anything else that has a Elo in the middle, which is a breaking point or exclusive rule, Lehoya David Roy Leise Achet Elo Dorten Kileftech Darke Tshuva. So he says, what does this mean? That when the Rebbe says, when it says Loi, this means it could never have happened. The only reason that happened, this is, I think, where the Rebbe used it specifically, but it applies by everything. This is a general rule. When we say loi elo, nothing but, so he says, so this means le'nivra zov, the Rebbe says, zov was not shaykh to be created. Zov, gold, with world does not go together. What was the reason that it was created? Elo b'shvil beis hamikdash. And because it is for the temple, therefore, for free choice, it also came down the world in secular matters. The same thing is also in everything. That the whole creation is to serve the Creator. And as the Rebbe writes in the Rishima, a very powerful Rishima, it's a heavy-duty Rishima. And Rishima means a manuscript that was found from the Rebbe, that the Rebbe wrote in the 20s, and the 30s, and the 40s. So the Rebbe writes in that manuscript, which is Rishimas Kuntres Mem Dalet. It's the 44th Rishima. Today they're bound already. They were also later published. All the diaries were published separate in one book that the Rebbe wrote. All the diaries that he wrote in the 20s and the 30s and the 40s. So over there the Rebbe writes what it means le'nivresi al l'shamesh askeni. What it means, created to serve the Creator. That means that every second he has to be on the alert that everything that he sees or hears is part of his service to the Creator, which is actually what the Baal Shem Tov says. But the Rebbe brings it down in detail that you start thinking about it. It's not an easy job. So this is basically in Lamed Hey in 1975. The original version is Nivresi L'Shamesh Askeni. It was created to serve the Creator. But then comes an additional thing. The additional one is Lei Nivresi Elo L'Shamesh Askeni. That the creation was only exclusively to serve the Creator, which is even more exclusive than the previous quote. And as the Rebbe mentions, that Ani Lei Nivresi Elo means it couldn't have happened otherwise.
Like the mitzvah to learn Torah. If you're not eating, you're not sleeping, you're not working, you have an obligation to learn Torah constantly.
That's right.
All the time.
That's right. That's also by Yom V'Layla.
For Hashgacha Pratis, no, you don't compare it would be the same thing.
Hashgacha Pratis, the Rebbe connects it, I think, with Hashgacha Pratis. The divine providence, because he saw a certain thing, and this is a lesson for him. And the way he saw it is a lesson for him. It's like the Rebbe goes into the details. We could possibly say that this is one of the keys of the sichas that the Rebbe said later, which as the Rebbe accepted in the leadership. The sichas of the Inyan of Hashgacha Pratis, how a person derives a lesson from everything he hears and sees. It's in the Baal Shem Tov. The Rebbe quotes it in the Yem Yem, in the beginning of Iyar, Tessiyar. But the way the Rebbe translates it and applies it in that Rishim, in that manuscript, is amazing. So it's translated today in English also. I think this is one of the Rishimas that was translated by sichas in English. It's also online. It's posted in the different sites. The Mela, So B'meila the Rebbe says that since the ultimate purpose of a Yid is to create, to serve the Creator, how they move him from this we understand. Shakol gimel dvarim anal yeshnam gam ba'inyan l'shamash eskeni ba'avedas Hashem. That all the three inyanim, which is the lottery and the inyan of the spiritual intuition and logic, everything could be utilized in serving the Creator. Which means what the Rebbe is doing now, the Rebbe is carrying it further. He's not talking about Israel, but he's taking out the three concepts that apply to dividing Israel, and how these three concepts are reflected in the Aved of a person on a general basis. Not just in relating to Israel, but on a day-to-day basis. What Gadol means, lottery, what spiritual intuition means, and what logic means.
But wasn't Gadol only a one-time thing in Israel?
B'negia de chalukah, dividing, yeah.
One-time
Right,
thing.
but in a spiritual sense, in Aveda Ruchnius, goes on forever. Like everything else. The Beis HaMikdash was destroyed, we still keep up. Tfilas, or other inyanim Aveda, in a spiritual Aveda, we are doing continuing the theme of the Beis HaMikdash. So now the Rebbe continues. V'inyan this is in Siv Dalet. V'inyan dinin isbair b'maymarim di meyagula Yud Beis v'Yud Gimel Tammuz. It was explained in the Maymarim of Yud Beis and Yud Gimel Tammuz. Asher hayom memela boim behemshech le'yemei agula. That these days Tezayin Tammuz is still an extension. It comes behemshech. It follows the days of redemption, the days that the previous Rebbe was redeemed from prison in 1927. So Yud Beis and Yud Gimel Tammuz was when? That year. If Tezayin was Wednesday, Tezvav is Tuesday, Yud Dalet. So Yud Beis Yud Gimel was Shabbos Sunday. So what does the Rebbe do? The Rebbe just refers to, you see in the order in 22. So you would think that they're labeling the Rebbe's Maimarim. They're labeling the Maimarim on what the Rebbe's Maimarim were based on. So Oz Yoshel L'Kuteteira and Eirateira Parsha Chukas. This is what the Rebbe makes a footnote. Usually, technically, they put in the names of the Maimarim, Hasidic discourse, which the Rebbe said, Yud Beis Tammuz, Yud Gimel Tammuz. Whenever the Rebbe says Maimarim, plural, there were two. Or surely, because Yud Beis Tammuz was Shabbos, Yud Gimel Tammuz was Sunday, and the Rebbe would bring Shabbos day and Sunday night. Because Mitzvah Shabbos, it was a short evening, summer, so it was Mitzvah, so Sunday night. So it was two Maimarim. So the Rebbe is referring to both, but still, right away the Rebbe sends off that these are the Maimarim on what it was based on. That in these Maimarim it is discussed and explained that a Yid has three levels. Same way, like he's speaking about three levels. So now the Rebbe is going to reflect it. There's one level as they are on the stage, Ganim, that they are like a well, a stream that waters Ganim gardens. Like they are a well of water that's constantly going, Mayim Chayim, live water, which means it never stops. Then there's a third level, that this is the highest level. This is the level dripping out from Levanon. V'nezlim is from the word mazel. The mazel shein yoni l'mayla mechachmo bina u'inyan hagedol. Mazel is something that is higher than understanding, higher than intellect. What does it mean in the higher attributes? That it is higher than chachmo bina. Hu inyan hagedol. This is the inyan of gedol, which is similar to the inyan of keser. So basically, the Rebbe is comparing, and he's going to double up how these three will explain what the other three mean in our service to the Almighty. That there's one Mayon Ganim, a stream. Then there's Be'er Mayim Chayim, which is the highest level. Even when it comes to purifying oneself. So a person